us. It's us in the building. We're coming to you live from Taco Dumbo on 52nd between 5th and 6th. You gotta come. Great place to eat. Awesome place to eat. But I'm telling you, this fourth quarter is about the grind. You know what it is. It's about being intense in the fourth quarter, bringing it in the fourth quarter. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring it every single time. 100. We're gonna keep it 100 every single time. You'll hear a lot of people coming through, some entertainers, sports people that you call the legends, the icons. We're gonna discuss, debate, and like C-Rob just said, we're gonna keep it 100 with this podcast.
Entertainment, guys. Pure entertainment.
That's what it's gonna be about. But I don't want to introduce her. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. But I tell you what, I played with her, and she's one of the best to shoot the basketball. And I was a lucky point guard. So I'm just gonna roll it right on over to my partner over to my right.
Well, I'm Crystal Robinson. Most people call me C-Rob. This is Teresa Weatherspoon, aka Teaspoon, T-Money.
In the house.
T the passer, T the shit talker, Teaspoon. Anyway, it's a pleasure to be here today, guys.
Hey, you know what? Someone just came in here, Bob. I gotta tell. I'm sorry. I just gotta tell. They came in and just they start staring at us. Look,
Don't do me like that.
look, I didn't know what they staring at for. I was like, man, yo, I'm about to have to back my partner up. Somebody about to do something up in here.
Gotta have it. Hey,
You look like Alicia Keys.
I don't know why you won't say
My
that.
first
Y'all
time
know
hearing
what
that,
Alicia
Rob.
Keys look like. I can't sing. We already know what Alicia Keys looks like. We might have cheekbones similar, but
Come on, Rob. I'm getting on my keyboard. Give him something. Come on.
some people want it all.
Ow!
That's enough.
Bro-
You ain't embarrassing me on that.
Is that all we gonna give 'em?
That's all we give them.
Well, I tell you what, we got another one that's with us, but not with us today.
She can
Kim
sing,
Happiness.
though.
She can sing.
She can sing.
She can sing, and my goodness, I don't know what she's gonna do when we just ask her to give you just a little bit. She might give you a lot.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But Kim Hampton, she will be with us, and we'll have a lot of fun with you guys. But Rob, tell everybody how we met.
First time I met Spoon, I'll be the first to say she was an ass, but it was all good. We were playing a 3-on-3 tournament. We met in the finals, about 200 teams. It was me and two, actually they were Australian girls, and Spoon had two girls that played with her from La Tech. High-level players, they beat us in the finals. They kind of punked us around. My teammates were afraid of them. But they ended up winning the tournament. That was the first encounter I had with Spoon. Then when I was drafted with the 6th overall pick, and I came to New York, I was a little nervous because I knew how Spoon was, first of all. Then when I got on team, she was still an ass. Like, I was bruised from head to toe. That's how me and Becky Hammond became really good friends and roommates. We had so many bruises on us. We looked at each other and said, we got to stick together. We got to stick together. It's us against them. We got knocked down every single day. But it ended up they accepted us into their circle.
But I tell you what, Rob, we're gonna go right back to Dallas. You know, it's Hoop It Ups when I met you. Believe it or not, when Chyerl and Pam and I played together in Hoop It Ups, we were watching you guys. It was like, this girl can shoot the ball. There's no way we cannot go. We gotta watch them, because if we meet up on that main court, everybody's watching. We can't let them outdo us. We can't. We gotta know what this girl had to do. So we surrounded you to let them win.
Yeah.
You gotta beat us. You gotta beat us. But then when it comes to you playing with us and Becky playing with us, we were like, no, we're gonna beat them up. They think they can make this team. Let's beat that butt. Vicky Johnson and I, we planned it. Trust me, we planned it. We planned this thing, but every time we knocked you down,
I got back up. I had to
back
prove
up.
myself.
we wanted you
I
in the
had to prove myself.
foxhole.
That's what being a part of Liberty back then was all about. You had to have a toughness to you that matched the New York grind. And when we walked in the building, you had to know that the person beside you, whatever happened,
Yeah.
that person had your back.
Yeah.
If it was a fight, no matter what happened, we always had each other's
I
back.
tell you what, Rob, that's something we did.
Yeah.
I don't care if somebody barely touching you, come like, man, because there's some stories with this one right here. I think we'll just talk about that a little bit
Yeah, we'll
later.
talk about
But
that
there are
later,
some
yeah.
stories with this one that I tell you, she just kept things going with us and
And
kept
I
such
wasn't
laughter.
like that when I came to the Liberty. I learned to be like that.
You were quiet. You were laid
Yeah.
back. You really were quiet. But you had that quiet assassin to you. And that's what I really like. Someone to shoot the ball the way that you could shoot the ball. We had to have you in our foxhole. I'm like, man, this girl catches the ball high and release it high. And that's rare. That's really, really rare.
But it made it easy for me when you have a point guard like you that delivered the ball on the money. It didn't matter what time it was. If I came off the pick, as soon as I was open, the ball was in my hands, and all I had to do was catch it and shoot it. So
That's my
you
job.
made my job much easier when you play one of the great point guards. If you can't make open shots, what I considered open shots, somebody in my face is an open shot to me. Spoon put me in positions to succeed.
you just said something real special because there's not very many people playing today that shoot the ball the way that you shoot the ball. You need just a little space. It's just a little space, and it was gone. And that's hard to defend. And then, Crystal, you also added putting the ball on the floor. And you had those sneaky hops. You had some sneaky hops, and then you added so much more to your game as far as being able to score for us offensively, but then you wanted to defend the best.
Well, every time you listen to reporters talk about you on TV and they say, oh, she's a good offensive player, but she can't defend, I didn't want to be that person.
Yeah.
I played with two great defenders, Spoon and Vicki Johnson, that I didn't want to be the weakest link because you're only as strong as your weakest link. And I remember times asking you to stay after practice to work with me on defensive technique, but that was a part of me wanting to be the best I could be. And eventually it came to a point to where Richie asked me to be a defender and not to be a scorer anymore. So
you had that mindset. You wanted it. You wanted to be the best all-around player. Don't just know me as a scorer. I can defend too. And when I tell you had them sneaky hops, I ain't telling you what you don't know. You had those sneaky hops to a point where you defended well for us. You were great on help side defense for us, and you rebounded the ball. That's really good to have as a guard, a rebounding guard, the way you rebounded the ball for us at that 3 position.
I'm glad to hear her say that because I thought I was kind of a weak rebounder because I was tired.
Like you keep it 100.
Keeping it 100, that's what I do. But, you know, she made my job easy. Just learning to be better every day and to accept whatever role that the coach gives you to make your team better is something that I think these younger kids got to learn and buy into to make the team better.
Well, Rob, you were talking about being from a place of 400, and I'm from a place of 800. I mean, learning to play the game was rather crazy, am I right?
Yeah, when you come up in towns like that, I mean, I was poor. My parents couldn't buy me a basketball goal, so I had to choose to ride my bike or use the rims for basketball goals. I flipped it over, knocked the spokes out, and then nailed it to a telephone pole, and that's what we played basketball on. So I had to learn how to shoot when the wind was blowing. I had to learn to shoot with my hands numb. We learned to play under any conditions.
And the court, what was supposed to be the court, the dirt court with the holes.
The dirty socks.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but Rob, we played.
Yeah,
we played.
Be like, why is your socks dirty? Because you start sweating and the dirt gets on your socks.
We weren't in there playing games. We weren't flipping our thumbs. We were out playing, trying to get better with the game.
That's part of the problem. Kids are good on PlayStation. They think that translates to basketball on the court, and it doesn't.
With you being a coach now, Rob, what have you learned from being a player going into the coaching side? What has been the difference?
Probably the biggest thing for me is that learn not to take things personal.
Yeah.
Coaches want to succeed.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a coach's job to push you past the threshold to help you be a better player. And sometimes everybody's different. It might be yelling for some kids. And I don't ever judge how a coach coaches one player on how they feel about you. Yeah. We had a teammate named Tari Phillips. Our coach couldn't yell at her because she shut down, but he could yell at me because it didn't bother me because I was so hard on myself. Nothing he said bothered me. But if he yelled at her, it was a wrap for her for the rest of the game. Learning to be coached individually and understand that whatever your coach does, unless they punching you in the face, they're doing it from a place of love.
Absolutely. How important though, because you just brought so many great points, and I know I'm shooting them at you, Rob, because I know you understand the game. I know you understand how to make players better. How important is it that as coaches and even as players who are leaders understand the strengths of those players that you're playing or those players that you're coaching? How important is that?
The coaches understand.
The coaches or the players?
Important, but I promise you, coaches watch so much film of you, they know your game. And there's times that you hit a mental block and you can't push yourself past that limit, but great players, especially point guards, they know the strengths and weaknesses of all your players. You knew me and Vicki Johnson's games weren't exactly alike. When we needed to drive and get a bucket, you were going to VJ. We needed a three-point shot, you were coming to me more than likely, and nobody in the gym could stop it, may I add.
Talk to me.
But at the same time, I wanted, the overall goal is for the Liberty to win.
That's
I didn't judge my success on what Vicki did or how many times you passed Vicki the ball, or she didn't judge it on how many times you passed. At the end of the game, we all won.
That's it.
That's simple. And we may have had a fight in practice the day before, but we all got into it all the time in practice.
But you just said it. Our best games were our practices.
Yes.
Those were our best games, were our practices. And you just said it's not about taking it personal. We were trying to make each other better. And afterwards, we in the locker room, we laughing about it, we talking about it. Oh, I get you tomorrow. You bust my mouth, but I get you tomorrow.
That's it.
But we didn't take it personal.
We didn't take it personal. We went 8 after that. The kids today, don't understand what hard coaching is, and that it's not a personal thing. It's not to belittle you. Sometimes I'm gonna tell you one of the greatest out there, the greatest, is probably Gino. See, I played for Gino in USA basketball.
Yes.
He is not nice.
Yeah.
But I guarantee if you can tolerate him, he will make you better, and in the end, you will thank him for it.
Yeah.
Because he teaches you to push yourself in the areas that you can't put yourself.
Right, right. And the craziest thing is you talking about Gino, and I'll push it a little bit further. See, Rob, people are skilled, they're talented, but how important is it for you to be mentally tough?
Mental toughness is everything.
Yeah.
To a winner.
Yeah.
Nobody gives you anything in life, and
You said
it's not easy to win. If it was easy to be great, everybody would be great.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to do. Mental toughness is the #1 key in it. You can be so talented, but if you ain't tough mentally,
Right.
when things don't go your way, if you fall into a million pieces, you can't win like that.
Right.
You have to be able to be focused and under control when things are hard. That's how you judge a person's play. That's what
Yeah.
makes Diana Taurasi and some of those guys so great, Maya Moore. When things get hard, they get better.
Yeah.
But that's because
Yeah.
of what Gino put them through.
Right.
Because they've been in hard situations. You have to practice situations that you want to win in.
I agree totally. I agree with you. This is so good because I love winning, but I hate losing more than I love winning. Because if I hate losing more than I love winning, I'm going to meet with winning because I hate losing.
Whatever you got to do.
Whatever you got to do.
Whatever you got to do. If I got to be nice to somebody that I don't even like to win, that's what I'm going to do.
I'm with it.
Winning is that important to me.
That's it. That's
I have
it.
to slap my mama in the face, slap her out the win. She's getting slapped.
Let's
by
get
her
that
husband
win.
now.
I'm coming after you, slap your mama. I'm on you. I'm on you with that one. But you guys, we got so many wonderful people to thank. And we're definitely going to thank Taco Dumbo, our sponsor, for giving us this first podcast in their place today. A beautiful place to be. Great eating, awesome eating. You got to come out. Once again, it's on 52nd between 5th and 6th. Taco Dumbo. And see, Rob, you got some as well to thank.
We'd like to thank George, the general manager, Jonathan, the CEO, Christian, the CEO. Especially, I would like to thank Solomon, the bartender. He keeps it cracking, he keeps it popping, and Taco Dumbo.
You got one more other one to thank as well. What about
yeah?
Yeah.
Celia Valley for this great fire engine. I'm sure she's gonna make one for every podcast, and she does a wonderful job for us.
Yeah, and I thought maybe I'd bring my little basket, Rob, you know, just a little something maybe make us think about when we were young, you know. Yeah, all right then. But hey, we're gonna take a break and we'll be right back at Taco Dumbo. Back with the fourth quarter podcast, man. My buddy C-Rob bringing it to you 100, like we said. We're gonna kind of push it a little bit. We've talked about, you know, how we learn how to play the game and the fun that we've had and getting to know each other, all that great stuff. How about talking about a little bit, Rob, of why you decided you would want to host something like this, or just to play in the league, period?
Well, as you know, I played in the American Basketball League, you know, and I came from an NAIA school. I was only two. Me and Todd McWilliams were the only two NAIA players that made it in the WNBA. But I played in the ABL, the American Basketball League, and for 3 years, and I was Rookie of the Year and a pro in that league all year. I'm talking Katie Smith and Yolanda Griffin and some really great WNBA players in that league, and I got Rookie of the Year, and I got drafted the 6th overall pick in the WNBA. And, you know, as young kids, we didn't have a league to look and say, hey, we want to be a part of that.
That's right.
I just wanted to be a great college player and hopefully one day get overseas. And I just had the opportunity. The WNBA came along at the right time for me.
Well, Rob, what exactly is the ABL? Everybody don't really understand what the ABL was, because I was also chosen to play with the Connecticut team. Don't really remember what their name was. The Connecticut Blizzards? Is that what they were?
New England Blizzards.
New England Blizzards. That's where I was chosen to be a part of that, but I immediately chose the WNBA. I had both choices, but nobody really knows what the ABL is or what it was. Explain to them a little bit what the ABL
American
is.
Basketball League started before the WNBA actually started. It was more of a players' league, in my opinion. I love the WNBA. But I also had a great love for the American Basketball League, because it was the very first league that we could participate in. Just they didn't have the money behind them the way the WNBA had, but the salaries were better. The season was longer. It was a regular basketball season. But the WNBA, both of them had their strengths and weaknesses. You play in the WNBA, you also could go in Europe and play, so you could make 2 salaries. So it was a great thing to be in the WNBA. But it was just a league that came out before with a lot of great players that played in that league.
It was a lot of you guys over there, and I can remember the argument with the ABL and the WNBA, and they said, "Oh, you're a summer league. You guys play in the summer." And then when we merged, oh man, everybody came into one league. That's when the world got the chance to see some great basketball, women's basketball in America.
And the biggest thing that I can think of from that draft that shows you how great Chyerl was. She was the #1 overall pick the year that those 2 teams come together. And there was some great players come from the WNBA.
Yeah.
Like Yolanda Griffith, Katie Smith, me, just an incredible Don Staley.
Yes,
a lot of great players came over, and Chyerl was the #1 overall pick. That says a lot about.
It says a lot about who that kid is and how good she really was, and what she's turned out to be.
From this area.
From this area, New York girl, New York kid. So the WNBA has really been good to us. But the overseas is what we had, and really all we had before all this came. And people don't understand how important overseas really was to us to be able to play in the ABL and the WNBA.
Yeah, they really don't. It was just a great learning experience for me. I learned to appreciate a lot of things from playing in Europe that we just didn't get to see over here. But both of those experiences made me a better player and a better person.
Yeah, and see, with this, a lot of things have come your way, and this is something that you decided. I really want to do this podcast. Spoon, what's up? You want to do this? What made you want to host a podcast like this? And be honest with it, because this podcast that we're going to do, this 4th quarter grind that we're going to be about, people need to understand why we need to do this.
Well, what made me want to host this, my management kept talking to me about being a Purfek Storm Entertainment. He kept talking to me about doing a podcast, and I put it off for a very long time. And just gets to the point where I think that our voices need to be heard. If we don't step up to the plate and try to make our voices heard, who's ever going to hear us?
That's right.
So that was one of my motivations, and also having the opportunity to reach back and help some other people move up, to shine the light on things that people like Chyerl and Eli are doing, different players around the league that have these great careers after they played. They don't have anybody shining any light on what they're doing. And if the WNBA ain't gonna do it, hey, we have to do it for each other, because these women have some great accomplishments in their life and nobody knows about it.
Yeah.
So who's gonna shine a light on them if we don't shine a light on each other?
You just said something so important and so valuable that everybody needs to hear. If you move forward and you never reach back to bring somebody with you, what are you doing it for? What is the purpose? Is it just for yourself? This is something my mother would always say to me. Every day there's self-evaluation. And when you have self-evaluation, you should be able to put your head on your pillow and say that I was impactful in the life of somebody today, not just yourself. You know what you're going to do
what
for
do
you.
you want to be remembered for?
Absolutely.
I don't want to be just remembered as a basketball player, guys.
Yeah.
I can shoot the basketball and that's great, but I want to be remembered for helping people and helping get hard conversations started and helping find solutions to things. And most people are going to be shocked to notice about me because I'm a jokester. I spend most of my time bothering people and agitating people. So this is just a great look for me and the opportunity.
I'm glad I'm not one who's surprised with jokes. I know what to say and what not to say, the look to give, because I know what's about to come out your mouth. But you're right, Rob. I really appreciate you putting this thing together, storm driving this thing on home, and really pulling me on in, because this is what it's all about. This is what our lives have always been about, is being impactful in the lives of other people. But in the WNBA, Rob, what challenges have you had, and has it caused you any problems to be like, you know what, I need to walk away from this? Has anything ever occurred in your life to be like, I gotta walk away?
Well, I don't know. Challenges that I had, I can't say the biggest challenge, the biggest turning point in my whole career didn't have anything to do with the WNBA.
Yeah.
It had to do with USA basketball.
Speak.
USA basketball.
Talk.
And this is when I found out that I was good at basketball. Actually, my very first USA basketball invite. I was a kid from NAIA school that didn't know anybody. I show up and you have all these, I went to Southeast Oklahoma State, small town, about 4,000 people. I show up at these tryouts and you have kids there from North Carolina, UConn, La Tech, and in my mind, I'm wondering, do I really measure up to these girls?
Right.
In my mind, I'm wondering all this. I had a really bad practice one day, horrible. So I found a corner to go sit in by myself, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about the day, and I'm thinking, man, I can't even believe they invited me to this shit. Like, I can't believe they did this to me. And anyway, as tears were about to start rolling down my eyes, Sylvia Crowley and Charlotte Smith walks up to me, and they say, hey, why are you sitting over here by yourself? And I was like, I don't know anybody. And I was like, and I can't believe they invited me. I kind of suck. And they were like, shoot, you the best player here. And they gave me dap, and they picked me up, and I killed it after that. It just took 2 people to show just a little faith and a little belief in me. And it was a wrap after that. I ended up being MVP that year in USA basketball, and I really think that was a turning point in my career. 2 people who didn't know me from Adam, and I don't think I've ever even had this talk with them, know how much they impacted my career and my life.
People don't understand what you just said. It's so important that when you see someone down on themselves, is to give a positive word. And look what it has done for you, for those 2 people to step up and just tell you.
Answer the same question. Let's not just talk about
you
answer the same question.
I tell you, Rob, I had it rough as an 8th grader. I was told I would never be great. A coach who I thought was supposed to mentor me and guide me and direct me, and said that I would never be great at playing this game. And I came from a family nothing but athletes, and I'm the baby, and I'm not going to be great. I'm about to disappoint my family. I'm about to disappoint the legacy, and I can't do that. So I went home crying, told my mom and dad what this coach had just said to me, and I played this game every day. I know I was okay. I wasn't good at it yet. But he said already as an 8th grader, I would never be great. My mom, dad, sisters, brothers said, you will be whatever you want to be. Whatever you want to be, you will be. And we will be your greatest supporter. And man, when that was enough for me, said there, and Rob, I had a chance to play on the Olympic team, USA team in 1988. I had a chance to take that very gold medal and put in his face, the man who told me that I would never be great as an 8th grader, put in his face and say, I understood my value. And when you understand your value, those are the greatest things that can happen to you sometimes. A closed door can be some of the greatest things that happen to you sometimes, because I was told if I can't get through your door, I'm going to come through your window. If I can't get through the window, I'm falling through the roof. I'm getting in. Santa Claus is coming every day. I'm getting through because I understand who I am and my value, and there's nothing anyone can tell me that I can't become.
But that's called mental toughness.
Yeah.
Mental toughness.
Yeah.
Nothing in life is easy.
Right.
And there's going to be doubters. If I lived my life based on what people thought about me or where I was going to go, I wouldn't be anywhere.
Right.
And you know, like I know, there's going to be more people want to see you fail than they want to see you succeed.
Man, you said something big.
But you know what? You determine the direction where your life goes.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying that everybody wants to be a professional athlete like Storm. He thinks he can beat me one-on-one.
Like, he said he is going to. I know what you're talking about.
Like I like his aspirations, but he has to prove that to me and show me that. You know, that you and I know.
I think he's listening. I think he's listening.
He's probably listening.
Ears are wide open.
There's always going to be people out there that's going to tell you you can't do something, but usually that has way more to do with them than it has to do with you. You have to be mentally tough enough to keep trying to do. Now, maybe everybody's not going to be a pro athlete. Only 3% of the population makes it, but that don't mean you can't do something big in sports.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Rob, is there something about you that these fans who watched you play all these years, especially your first year in the WNBA, is there anything that the fans don't know about you that happened in your first year playing, besides me knocking you on that ass every day?
Well, probably they don't know that I'm a really friendly person. I don't think I give off the vibe that I'm easily to approach. Like, I'm a super friendly person, but I'm a super quiet person, a reserved person.
Wow.
Naturally, you have to be family or very close to me for me to really open up and show you who I am. I don't invite people to my circles, but I'm really approachable and I'm pretty friendly, and I don't think most people know that about me.
This one is.
But if you do come into my circle, you better be ready.
That's what I was about to say. She is freaking hilarious. She's gonna do some stuff to you that you would never thought would happen, but you know who she is, and she's a fierce competitor. And there's some stories about this one. I don't know. I just gotta drive it home. That, you know, when we're on the court and we're playing and she's being competitive, don't talk to her. Leave her alone. Leave her alone, because you are going to get something real tough that I don't know if you can handle, the stuff that she might say. Because it's going to be harsh. It's going to be pretty harsh. And sometimes we're in the huddle.
From them.
But we're in the huddle, Rob. Half the time, I couldn't even get myself together with some stuff you say. I don't even know what the hell the coach just said because of what you said.
No, I got to tell you something funny. I remember one time we was in the huddle, and Richie, you know how he chewed that gum, and he would push his glasses back, and some spittle flew out on my arm, and I was like, ooh.
I remember that like yesterday, man.
Or I really first think I'd be living in a hole like this and everybody would be like this. But that's just me being me, guys.
She just knew how to kind of break the tension. If somebody was nervous, oh, trust me, tension was broken.
Put your eyes on me and be a wrap.
Hey, some stuff, you know,
Ain't no telling.
I don't share everything. We're going to keep a lot of stuff. What happened in our locker room, we're going to keep in there. Because this one, she did some stuff. But boy, I tell you, she kept things fun. And that's the way it has to be. Things have to be
Spoon's
fun.
talking a lot about me, but I tell you that I learned that she's one of the best people that when you needed something, you could go to Spoon. I'll tell a quick story. We had this teammate named Bernadette Lagoisia, right?
My buddy.
Big Bernie, and she was a big post player. She comes to the team, and she comes from Africa, and she didn't have nothing. So we all started putting our per diem together and taking her shopping to buy her clothes, and this was Spoon's idea, right? Spoon gets her hair done one day. Spends like $250 to get Bernie's hair done, and Bernie comes to practice the next day with the hair gone. She took her hair out.
I was so upset.
Spoon was heated. I'll never forget that Spoon talked to Bernadette like she was a little kid because she really didn't understand a lot of English.
Nothing.
But Spoon's that kind of person. If you needed something and you went to Spoon, if she couldn't make it happen, she found someone to make it happen. And it's funny because I think that we developed an overall love and respect for each other. We didn't hang out every day. But I know that when I needed something or when it came to our team, between those lines, we were sisters.
That's
If
it.
you messed with her, you messed with me. And most people knew, if you come to play the Liberty, you better be in for a fight. You
You
come
in for
to
it.
Madison Square Garden, you might get beat and beat up at the same time.
And they knew it. And they knew it. They started making rules because
They
that's
did.
what the Liberty do. So they started making rules to kind of take away our defensive pressure, our aggression, because that's how we were. And see why I'm so right that, I want to say this while you're sitting here, is there's absolutely nothing anyone can say, anyone will ever do that could ever split us, apart us, because what we've gone through, nobody ever know who we will continue to be. It ain't their business. As long as we remain who we are with each other, we're perfect. This one I love. I'm going to always have a back. I have every one of their backs, and I know they have mine, and that's all that matters. That's really all that matters. That's why we bring it hard and live with our fourth quarter grind. Now, there's some things that happen when you get a little older, and I'm going to take a minute break because this one
Like this cramp.
kind of got it.
Right now.
Because she got a cramp because she got to go pee. So we got to take that break. We'll catch you at the fourth quarter. Oh, my girl is back. You look fresh. You good?
I'm
Woo,
better.
I'm telling you, that's a relief, right?
Yes.
But we back in this fourth quarter thing. But we want to go kind of deep on you right quick because we got some people that's still salty with us, from back in the day when we went to Houston.
Houston should be salty with me all the time. I think I hit more game
Killed
winners
them.
against them than I hit against anybody.
Hey, but we get a chance to finally talk about that game in Houston, the second game.
I don't even like talking about
That
that.
I don't either, but
I
we get to brag a little bit because they're gonna have to put some respect on our name today. Some respect on it. Put some respect on our name. The second game, right? We down. We getting kicked again in our butts in Houston.
Yes.
Tell them what happened in that second half. That nothing happened right for you in the first half.
Nothing.
Talk to them about the second
Not
half.
nothing. Like, to the point to where you even question whether you should even be on the team or shooting balls. Like, period. Like, put somebody else in. Coach.
Yeah.
In the second half of that game, we were down, I don't think, 26.
We were
27
down big
points,
time,
something
killing
like
us.
that. I scored 21 straight points. Like, I gave Chyerl the business. Our coach is over there yelling, don't leave Robinson, don't leave Robinson. Whap, whap. They end up winning the championship, so it's all.
But Rob, the craziest thing is how you gonna leave a shooter?
I don't know.
I don't care if you
I
miss
scored
20.
in every way possible that game, but that wasn't the case.
Shooters
Spoon
mentality.
hits a shot from the free throw line at the other end of the floor
They still mad?
at a very, very trying time in her life.
They still
where
mad?
They're still
Oh,
mad.
man,
It
yeah.
was a very trying time in
Yeah.
Spoon's life. And I don't think a lot of people know that she had lost her closest nephew not long before that game. I remember you telling me you could see him when you let that.
Yeah.
She knew the ball was going in when it left her fingers. And I'll never forget
Yeah.
everybody's reaction. I'm down in the corner jumping up and down, and they dogpile Kim, and I was like, oh, I gotta go get in it. So I go jump on the pile, and then Kim But our big tail comes and falls on top of everybody. I know she was smashed, but it was just an amazing experience for
it was.
not us, our fans, and because they already had confetti falling
Coming
on us
down.
and everything, and
It was all over us.
It was for us because we made a unbelievable comeback in that game.
It was. Rob, I did. I had a really tough year. You all knew how tough that year was for me, but you guys had my back after losing my nephew before the season started. It's right before that season started. When I lost him, I really didn't want to play anymore. I didn't want to do this anymore. Things were happening in my life that was just a struggle because for him to be so young and my nephew Dominic to be so young, I was living for them to be able to see that they can get out too. You can do whatever it is that Aunt Teresa's doing, but you can do it better. You can do it better than me. And when this happened, it was devastating to our family, truly devastating to me because he was like a son too. He's like a son to me. He's my best friend. And then I'm like, how am I going to do this? And every single day, you guys were pushing me. You were pushing me. Even there were days in practice, everybody thought I was sweating, and you guys knew I was crying. Days in the game, everybody thought I was sweating. You guys knew I was crying. But I was giving you guys everything that I had, and you guys were giving me everything. And it was just such a God-given thing, Rob, that the second half, you were on fire, killing them. And then all of a sudden,
I don't know what happened in that game. Something happened. Like
it's something
happened.
It's
That's
a miraculous thing that we
can't
describe.
losing this game. It's
Right.
Everything went right in that half.
Everything went right in
I'll
that
never
half.
forget the look on Tina Thompson's face. The way she walked off the court with
Yeah.
her lips open. Like it was crazy.
Did that go in?
Did that go in? Like, yeah, it was just crazy.
We can really laugh at them because the confetti did come down. They were ready to push the trophy out so they could celebrate. Kim Hampton getting ready to take the ball out. I'm screaming, take it out. She's already ready to cry. Take it out.
Yeah.
She throws it to me and I just threw it up. And when it went up, I was like,
you took 2 dribbles. It's
man,
etched in
Rob,
my
it's in there.
mind.
You down there in the corner. It goes up. I'm like, this thing is going to go in. But it was taking forever for the
Yeah.
ball to just drop. It was just going and going and going and going and going. And boom, it goes in. That's what the fourth quarter is really all about right there.
That is
The intensity of a fourth quarter, never giving up, the grind of a fourth quarter, and what happens in the fourth quarter if you continue to give everything you got till that horn goes off.
And not just in basketball, in life.
Yeah.
We could
Drive
have
it
given
home.
up. We could have given up in that game at
Drive
any
it home,
point
yeah.
in time, but that just wasn't what the Liberty was about. Like,
Yeah.
being a part of Liberty in that day and age, losing and giving up wasn't a part of who we were at all. So, I mean, we came out like some gangbusters. I'll never forget the dribble handoffs and the kickouts and the things that BJ done and you did to give me shots and the picks that Kim said. It was just amazing. It was an amazing experience.
It was us coming together. It was like, we're not losing. They were laughing at us. They felt like they had us beat, and we just came back roaring.
Coop with her good ass.
Sit down.
She was good.
So good. You just got to give it to her. You can't take that from her.
It didn't matter what you did. She
We
was gonna
can't.
get her 30.
We can't take that from her.
Can't take it from
But
her.
I told him,
Great
when
player.
Coop left, you ain't winning again. You ain't winning again. Coop's gone, you're not winning again. Good. Give everybody else a chance.
Yeah.
Give everybody else a chance. This is the fourth quarter grind. So, Rob, let's go into our fourth quarter grind question. In the fourth quarter grind, is that intensity, it's that
Last 3
aggression, that
minutes.
passion, that last 3 minutes. Who's the
Yeah.
best at it? The question is, Rob, in that fourth quarter grind is there anybody throughout your whole career that you would watch and say, you know what, I'm going to take that from her and add it to my game? Is there any player that you found like that?
Well, it wasn't any girls, and probably just like me, you got
Okay.
accustomed to watching boys play,
Good.
you know, and
Yeah.
taking things from their games. And I'd probably say that Reggie Miller and
big.
Allen Houston were two
Yeah.
people that, and Ray Allen, two
Yeah.
people that my game really resembled. Instead of trying to morph my game into someone else's, I just became really good at what I did.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what propelled my career. If I needed to make shots, I had the ability to make shots. I wanted to take shots when nobody else wanted
Yeah.
to take shots.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a big burden to carry.
Right.
When you're taking last second shots, can you live with making them, or can you live with missing them?
Right.
Like, and
Big.
and not everybody. Most people. Richie always said you can tell the players because the good players rise at the end of the game, and the players who don't want the ball hide from the ball.
Right.
At the end of the game, you know, and at the end
Great
of the game.
point.
I wanted the ball. Like I wanted to live and die on the shot that I took
Yeah.
because I had that much faith in myself. Even and there's been games. I don't know if you remember when Orlando had a franchise. We were
Yeah,
down
the
30
miracle.
at halftime and
Yeah.
came back and won. Remember Shannon Johnson
That
called
Johnson's
that.
in that building,
She
yeah.
called that timeout with no time. They had no more timeouts. I didn't score a point that game. And Richie's like, "See, Rob, you shooting the free throws." I hadn't made a shot the whole game. Do you know how much gumption it
That's
takes
belief
to go
in
to
you,
the free
man.
throw line and not make a shot the whole game?
You have
make
shooter's
2
mentality.
game winners? And
You have shooter's mentality.
Those were the moments where I think I was the best.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I just watched a young lady from the University of Texas. I remember seeing her high school. Rob, you know, you're asked to do everything in high school, so you just score. I was a scorer in high school. I learned how to sacrifice by watching this kid play. Her name was Essalita Whaley, played for the University of Texas. Essalita, I know.
Was it in the
I'm
slave days?
Well, at least
Oh,
I'm
my
trying to
bad.
give you the real name. Well, they
Okay,
call
my
her
bad.
Lita,
Okay.
but her real name was Essalita
Okay.
Whaley. Rob, the kid could defend you with her hands behind her back. I wanted to become a defender at that point. I could score the ball. I was like, but I want to do something else, understand the full game. And I saw her playing. I said, man, this kid is sacrificed for the good of everybody else. And that's when I learned how to be able to help everybody else be successful and be great at what they do. Essalita Wade from the University of Texas is the person that I watched and took that from her and just added it to my game. Some big time stuff right there. That's that 4 quarter grind, baby. We had easy answer that question. 4 quarter grind. But Rob, as we move on, this is our first podcast. Very
It's
first.
gonna get better. Every podcast will get a little better.
It's gonna get better with a grind.
That's exactly
That's
right.
what the 4 quarter is all about. We grind it out. We want to be the best at everything we do, everything we touch. We turn it to golden stuff, baby. Everything we touch. So we got a lot of people we want to thank. And once again, we want to thank Taco Dumbo for this beautiful place on 5th Avenue
awesome,
between
guys.
5th and
Check it
6th.
out.
You got to come. Great eating, and great people like us. Great people. And Rob, what you got on your side?
I'd like to thank George, Jonathan, Christian, and Solomon. But Solomon's the man, guys. I know I'm thanking the CEOs and the COOs, but Solomon is the man. To come
I wonder
see.
why.
Not only can he bartend, guys, he is unbelievably handsome. You guys have to check him out.
Woo! And you got one more. Doo-doo.
Silvio Vale for the beautiful flowers.
Top
I'd like
two.
to thank her also.
Hey, we appreciate you guys listening. We'll be back the 4th quarter.
Baby.